Wicked. Okay, so we've got Stay Voiceless, who's finished a set at the Noizze/Pwer Festival at Pwer in 2022. It's great to see you guys. First of all, start nice and easy. How was the set? How'd you find it as a baby?
It's warm. It's really warm. It's good, but it's warm.
Yeah, it's been hot all day, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it's good. It brings people out, doesn't it? The sunshine and stuff. So we moan when it's raining. We moan when it's too hot. We can't win really. So.
there's no perfect union, is there? No, so it's just right. It's our Goldilocks world. In Womanby Street, it's just it. So you guys, is this part of a tour cycle for you guys? Is part of a run of gigs? How is this fitting into Stay Voiceless 2022?
Yeah, sort of. So a lot of our 2022 is actually rescheduled 2020. So we put our debut album out in August, and we had a lot of, it was due to come out in August. We had a lot of stuff planned. Pandemic hit and pretty much pressed pause on all of that. So we just thought, we either still put it out and just see what happens, or we sit on it and we don't know how long it's going to last. So we rolled the dice and just put it out. So this is pretty much our album tour, but just cut up into different sections of the year to try and.
Was it difficult to sort of have to go back to the sort of material in a post-pandemic world? After writing in 2020, was it like a challenge to sort of rehearse and get that back out there, get into the rhythm of things and things like that?
I something happened to my neck, and what
happened?
I trapped the nerve in my neck. I was so stressed.
Oh my gosh!
It's a long story. I still can't feel my hand, but for a long time.
You're the drummer.
Yeah.
That feels important.
For a long time, I couldn't hold a pen or lift up my hand, so it was a struggle for me because I had to learn it all again. So I had to learn to hold my sticks and everything.
Oh right, did you kind of have to start from like the bottom in terms of like relearning the skills and things?
I couldn't hold anything with my hands.
Oh, so how long did that take?
A year? 2 years? 2 years because I can play the other song now, so yes, 2 years.
Worst case scenario, we were debating getting it just like an extra pedal, like Def Leppard in it with just one hand, like.
Oh, that would have been absolutely wicked. Just sort of one hand tied behind the back, just pretending that it was like part of like a trick you were playing. It's like I could use it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to.
It's heavy enough as it is, so it's more stuff to carry in. So we just thought, no, you better get your arm sorted.
I still can't feel my hand, but it's okay now.
Wow, it's phenomenal.
It's okay.
So you guys have had an album out in 2020. You sort of put it out, and now you're sort of touring again. How's that affected the writing cycle? Have you been working? I imagine it's really strange. If you've been working on new material from 21 to 22, but then you're sort of going back in time almost in 20. How does that mix go? I assume you're sort of writing through it. Is that a difficult decision to have?
Yeah. So the next record was pretty much done. We've sort of demoed it. It's just about putting that together. Because normally we'd have been like, right, this one get out, we tour it, we go back to the drawing boards. We always sort of do our own pre-production, demo and stuff, and then. Obviously reach out to some producers who think might be interested in and understand it and get it, So it was a bit, we had to just press pause on everything basically. So we were like, right, well, there's no point learning a lot of new songs because they'll be done and we'll be playing them and we put a record out and we need to be pushing that, So it was more around, don't stop doing the stuff behind the scenes. But if we're playing shows, let's hold back on the newer stuff for now.
Oh, interesting.
And get it sort of tight because it's completely different. I mean, there were songs we wrote for the album that didn't end up making the album because then we wrote different stuff in the gap. That was better suited, and not many people listen to albums these days, but I'm very much quite passionate about. Something needs to be a piece of art, it's a piece of work, and it's end to end, whether it's one side, both sides.
You want to see a bit of a painting. You want to see the whole collective work.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to see like a couple of strokes at a time and then wait 2 months and then see the artist put another bit up. And I mean, I just think we're immediate culture now. We want stuff now, and stuff's not quick enough. So we're a bit like, well, we're quite happy to put a record out, let people savour it, let people enjoy it, and then just come back when the next one's done.
No, you talked about the material being different from time to time. How has the music Stay Voiceless evolved then between 2020 and now? The stuff that you're kind of trying to integrate and trying to hold back and trying to that type of stuff. Like, how is that working out?
Yeah, this is drawing on sort of influence, not even necessarily on stuff that's come out more recently, because I mean, there's a lot of sort of like mumble indie bands out at the minute, and I mean, it's good. The ones that do it well do it really, really well, but it's just that like 2000 wave over again. You get a couple of bands break, and then everyone wants to sound like that.
Cyclical,
so we've gone backwards. We're listening to like 70s, 80s post punk. We've gone back listening to Joy Division. We've gone back listening to more stripped back stuff, and it's darker, but the production's bigger. Because I mean,
darker musically, darker lyrically,
but brighter production. So the production's more mainstream, shall we say, because we pretty much put the Holy Bible out of debut album, like, which is Suicide. But so the next one, the production's more in keeping, but the lyrically is darker. For instance, I'm literally living in the Bronx up the road at the minute, like so. Like someone got stabbed outside my house, like on something really work. So stuff like it's a bit gritty, it's a bit more real. That's real, but it's perhaps wrapped up in a bit poetic and a bit more sort of cultured, shall we say, but this stuff's quite raw, it's real, and it's, I don't want to say basic, but it's very much to the bone, it's close to home, and got bigger production, so
that's good.
rather than dark stuff in pop production.
No, I imagine that's an easier writing process. You're actually sort of drawing stuff that's literally happening around you in a more darker sense, especially the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah,
that conversation.
Everything's been on lockdown, so it's not about what you've done, where you've gone, it's what you're observing, it's what you're seeing through the telly, it's what you're seeing through your phone, it's what's going on in your family, it's what's going on
in real life.
Yeah, it's literally weird life. I mean, like,
terrifying as it is, isn't it?
Andrew's training to be a nurse, so he's on the front line in the NHS, so he's literally seeing horror stories.
Of the pandemic, then pretty much whenever it started, right through the August till lockdown.
I can't even imagine how much of an eye-opening experience that as well.
Yeah.
But you had to do
It's all
things,
feeding in.
you had to help in ITU, didn't you? And they used to tell you just stand there and watch that number. And if it goes over this number, you call me, because they were short on
I mean, we're quite passionate about like supporting the NHS and working class stuff, not just because of where we're from. I mean, we got fuck all up the valleys where we're based usually, and I mean, obviously now in Bevan's from my hometown, so we're just passionate, you've got to protect it, you've got to do what you can. So seeing it brought to its knees during this pandemic, because it's been like donkey years of underfunding, it's brought it all home. So yeah, it's probably a less political record, but it's closer to home. It's all out, this stuff is literally happening outside the window.
That's terrific. I look forward to hearing that. So what does the rest of 2022 look like for the band? Does the material, obviously you're doing this cycle now, where do we go from there?
Yeah, so we're sort of in talks with a few producers at the minute to who's going to do the next record. That's probably going to be next year, if that. So we literally just, again, plugging all the gaps on our sort of 2020 tour that then rolled into 21, that have now rolled into 2022. And something that was once like a 2-week solid block. It's probably chopped up into little different blocks now and spread out throughout the year, but we just think we've got an obligation to fulfill these shows and we don't want to miss them, and we got some good sort of relationships with some other bands who are in a similar sort of vein of us. We do a couple of sort of show swaps. We're still very much, whilst the music isn't necessarily sort of minor threaty punk rock, DC hardcore, the ethic definitely is. You network, you meet people, you get in touch with new bands, show swap, and you do you can. Everybody's in the same boat, so it makes sense for everybody to row in the same direction and be fighting over who's fucking captain, you know. So
yeah, that's absolutely right. There's a real feeling of unity, especially in these sort of festivals. See bands that have been in the same circumstance, life has literally had to stop. And that production has had to completely go away. Bands are going digital. Bands are like doing rehearsals over Zoom and writing songs in different sort of areas. It's a real challenge.
We're not sophisticated as that. I'm lucky if I can get a Zoom call on and never mind do anything like that. I like old school, so it happens in the room where it don't happen. It's like,
I'm the same as you. I just want to sit in a room with someone, have a microphone in front and just let it happen. Let it go. Fiddle around and that type of stuff. But hey, it's been fantastic. So we've got Stay Voiceless, Noizze podcast, we've got Pwer Festival or Pwer Festival if you're English like myself. Yes. And it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having us. Take care.
Thank you.